been creating turnovers here late in the second quarter is really what has killed the Bruins.
Well, I think it goes back to a couple games that they had earlier, or I guess 12 turnovers in that first half for Tri-West. I know that's going to drive Coach Bontrager crazy. Um, but they just have to get back. I mean, Avon's got so much height. They're going to dominate the boards. You would hope that Tri-West just gets back and can kind of stop those easy transition buckets.
All right, so take me through. What have you seen this entire tournament? It started on Wednesday with the girls getting things started, the girls and the boys rather, where you had kind of a full day of basketball action. So what have you seen this tournament as we get set for championship Saturday here?
Well, I think Danville and Brownsburg girls are kind of in a class of their own in their classes. There was a good game on Wednesday, or I'm sorry, on Thursday to get this. I was right the first time on Wednesday to get this all started. Brownsburg's just kind of in a class by themselves. They dominate you with that press. And Danville's a good team. Tri-West last night against Avon, they played like they deserved to win that game against Avon. Avon just came up with some crucial defensive stops there late and were able to knock down some free throws and pull that one out against the Bruins last night. Boys side, honestly, I think this next game between Plainfield and Brownsburg might be your Class 4A sectional title game. Really interested to see how Plainfield plays against a really tough Brownsburg team, which I think is probably going to be Plainfield's toughest game so far this season.
All right, Dylan, what else are you working on over there at the Flyer in terms of the swimming, the wrestling, everything that's going on here in the new year?
Well, we're getting right down to the end for a lot of these teams, especially wrestling and swimming. Conference starts up, I think, for everybody, especially for wrestling, for everybody in the county next Saturday. I know a lot of the swimming teams are getting into their conference meets either right now or next week or a couple weeks from now. And then you get that long, you get like a brief week off, and then everybody's starting sectional, regional, state tournament stuff. Really looking forward to the wrestling. I'm a little bit of a wrestling goof, I guess. Avon and Brownsburg are obviously a couple teams to watch out for, like they are every year. I think there's a chance that a wrestler from each school, I think, could make it to at least semi-state. Look up for Tristan Carson at Danville, Dominic Puglisi from Tri-West. I think I think the wrestling is really deep. I think in swimming, you're going to get a lot of kids advancing in the state meet as well.
All right, I want to go back, and Dylan Trimp joins us from the Hendricks County Flyer. I want to go back to the matchup that's following this one here, Brownsburg and Plainfield. What does Brownsburg have that a lot of teams around have? They've really shown the ability to beat good teams. They've beaten a very good Ben Davis team this year. So what does Brownsburg bring to the table against Plainfield tonight?
I think the way what Brownsburg does, they just can throw so many bodies at you. It can wear teams down. I think you saw it on Wednesday against Danville. They don't have to worry about foul trouble. I mean, Coach Lynch doesn't even. They've got so much length inside. Cameron Alford's probably one of my favorite players in the county, if not the state. He is just so tough. I'm really kind of surprised he doesn't have any kind of offers yet, because I think honestly he might be the best player in the county, pound for pound.
All right, Dylan. Hey, thanks for joining us, and we'll talk to you soon.
Actually, thanks for having me on.
All right, Dylan Tripp from the Hendricks County Flyer here joining us at halftime. Hey, we'll come back. Second half action about 4 minutes away here from Cascade High School. The Bruins down 15 at the half. Welcome back to Cascade High School alongside Blake Saylor. My name is Grant Kobe. We welcome you and high above courtside here in the broadcast booth. So Blake, Avon rattles off some unanswered points at the end of the second quarter. They scored 25 in the second quarter to go up 42-27 at the half. What adjustments are to be made by the Bruins here in the second half?
Yeah, they just need to slow down their pace and think more of where they're passing it, where they're shooting. Just take better shots, better passes. Just think more about the fundamentals and take their time when trying to just play more sound basketball in general.
So Avon will start the second half with the basketball. J.P. Carroll with the basketball going right. Now back to Brewer. Now on the attack is Melvin going up, and Robertson comes down with the rebound. Now the Bruins are going to try to score in transition. It's tipped by Avon. J.P. Carroll got a hand on it. It'll be Bruins basketball under their own basket. They'll go baseline left side. Bruins back in with Robertson, Cora, Van Slyke, Gardner, and Dawson Wolf. Turn and shoot for Gardner is off the mark. Wendell Myers comes down with the rebound and gives it to J.P. Carroll. Carroll now inside against Baylor. Can't score. Rebound to Robertson. 2 empty possessions here for Avon. Bruins with their second possession. They're unable to score on their first. Up top to Cora, now back to Taylor Gardner. Gardner with it, back to Garrett Cora. Cora working the point here. He's played a majority of the point guard minutes for Mason Levisic tonight. Wolf comes down with it after a contested post entry there by Jaden Brewer. High post, it's Van Slyke. 15-footer on the way is off the mark. Rebound to Brewer. Brewer comes down with it. Now in the lane to Baylor, and Cora is able to force the turnover. 3 empty possessions for Avon, 2 empty possessions for Tri-West. Spin and shoot Van Slyke. Can't break the ice. Brewer comes down with the rebound. Brewer now in transition, left side. Now back up top to Melvin. Back to Baylor. Baylor's 3 is off the mark, but Avon comes down with the rebound. DeMeyers into the lane. Spin around. Reverse layup is good.
Yeah, just good play by
44-27. Avon leads Tri-West. Right side, it's Van Slyke. Van Slyke at 15 feet. Off the mark, and Van Slyke having a hard time getting his shots to go down this evening. DeMeyers with it, now finds at the high post. It's Baylor. Back to Jaden Brewer, now up top to J.P. Carroll. Carroll with it now back to Wendell DeMeyers, who's on the attack from 15 back to Brewer. Brewer into the lane, and he's fouled on the way up by Taylor Gardner. And it'll be Brewer at the line with 2 shots.
Bruins having a tough time just coming together on offense. Still haven't scored yet. Something needs to change for sure.
Oh, Brewer at the line with 2 is Kobe checks in before the first shot, which is not really supposed to happen, but confusion there by the officials puts Covey into the game as Brewer is off on his first. Brewer now has his second, and he's able to connect. Goes 1 of 2 from the line, and he's 1 of 3 on the evening. Avon tips it out of bounds the other way, and it'll be Bruins basketball. They'll go cross court right. They'll inbound to the backcourt to Garrett Cora. Cora with it right side. Loses the handle. Carroll tips it.
Almost turnover.
And avoiding a turnover there for the Bruins. Robertson will inbound to Taylor Gardner. Gardner on the attack, going right side wing. Now back to Luke Robertson. Robertson setting up the offense, finds Covey on the right wing. Covey puts the ball on the floor, now right side. Going up against Union Tennessee there. Left side, it's Gardner. Catch and shoot 3 for Robertson is off the mark. DeMeyers comes down with a rebound. The Bruins have yet to score here in this third quarter. And Camden Melvin scoring 2 there. The Bruins find themselves down 20. Gardner with it, left side wing. foul on Avon there. They're going to get J.P. Carroll. That's his second of the contest. So the Bruins have yet to score nearly 2 minutes into this second half. What is there to take away from that, Blake?
They just need to find a spark. They haven't. Nothing's clicked for them so far. They had a decent defensive stand in the first 3 possessions, but ever since then, nothing has gone their way.
So Cora tries to find Wolf over there, and it's kicked out of bounds by Wendell DeMyers. We thank you for joining us here on YouTube, where you can find all the boys basketball games this evening. A charge call against the Bruins. They're going to get Taylor Gardner for his second. On the charge, player control, his third rather. And so now it'll be Avon basketball. J.P. Carroll controlling the tip, now left side to Brewer. Back out top to DeMyers. Brewer now with it on the attack into the lane. He walked. He took way too many steps there. It'll turn the ball over and give the ball to the Bruins here. They're down 20, 4:45, and if they want to make a run at this one, they're going to have to start scoring some points as they've yet to score here in this one. Covey inside from Gardner scores 2. That's Covey's first points of the contest. And now
Injury timeout, Taylor.
Gardner looks a little bit shaken up on that play. Levisic will replace him.
Yeah, after that charge, he wasn't looking too stable on his feet, walking back for a defensive stand against Avon.
So Carroll with the basketball now here for the Orioles. Crossing the timeline against Cora. Now going into the lane. Throws it away. Covey saves it from going out of bounds. Dawson Wolf comes down with it, but they turn the ball over. Servia now with it on the attack. Now over to Genius Sinesy, and he goes up but can't score, but he'll head to the line as there's a foul against the Bruins. And they're going to get Dawson Wolf for his third. And Sanusi at the line here for the Orioles will have 2. And of course, you can catch all of the Bruins, boys Bruins basketball games on our YouTube account. Don't forget to subscribe to us there so you know when we go live. Before every boys basketball game this season is where you can find us there. Also follow us on Twitter at TWBoysHoops, at TriWest Sports on Twitter as well for live in-game updates. Cora with it, mishandles the basketball but gathers himself and gets it to Robertson. Robertson 3 on the way is off the mark. Rebound is to Cora. Cora a fight for the basketball, and a jump ball will give the Bruins the basketball.
Great fight for the basketball there by Cora. Just ball everywhere, and he decides to come up with it.
4:03 to play third quarter. And the Bruins down 19. Inside to Wolf. Wolf finds Covey cross court. Right baseline jumper is in and out, no good. Sinesy comes down with the rebound, or Sanusi that is, comes down with the rebound. Melvin with it now, crossing the timeline. In between the circles against Robertson now with it. Left side to Servia. Angelo Servia into the lane. Now back out to Wendell DeMyers, who pick and pops 3 on the way. It goes out of bounds. And the Bruins will have the basketball as Mason Miller will check in. Miller, who is known for his 3-point shooting ability, only has 3 in this one so far. And that coming in the second quarter. Garrett Cora now tries to find Robertson high post, but turns the ball over. Servia now into DeMyers, now back to Miller, and Miller scores 2.
That was just a Merry Christmas play right there. Wasn't expecting anything, but
now Coach Bontrager utilizes a timeout here. It'll be a full timeout, and the Bruins now down 50 to 29, down 21 here. Found themselves in a hole, and it really started there at the end of the second quarter. But if it wasn't for that, I think we'd be talking about a 5-point ball game here, Blake. What do the Bruins need to do to turn it around? Because they've shown sparks this evening of what they can do in terms of creating turnovers. But what do they need to do both offensively and defensively?
right, they're committing way too many turnovers on offense. Just way too many of that, and Avon's scoring off of those. And on defense, they just need to play more. Just play a little bit more aggressive, but not too aggressive, as they already have 3 fouls. Just not as touchy, but still trying to make a shot for the ball and get some stops on defense. And they're still in this.
So with 3:15 left in the quarter, you know, you could possibly spark a run here against the Orioles and get it back within, 12 or 10 or 12 here at the end of the third, and a chance to make a fourth quarter run at it. What do they need to do, to create that run? They've got Covey in there and Robertson in there for size. As Van Slyke checks in at the timeout, replacing Dawson Wolf.
Right. Kobe, he's been taking some good shots. He just needs to follow through with it, and Braden definitely needs like a little bit better shots, but he's got his opportunities, and we'll see how those two can do it. I think they can.
Here's Cora with it, now back to Robertson. Robertson working right wing, now back to Mason Levisic. Levisic inside to Van Slyke. Van Slyke lost the handle. It's out of bounds off the hands of J.P. Carroll. And the Bruins will have the basketball under their own basket. Robertson will inbound baseline right. Robertson looking to get it in here, and they will to Levisic. Levisic attacking the baseline, going up and scoring two. Those are Levisic's first points. Bruins within 19. Left side to DeMeyers working the left wing, and Avon going to try to drain out this clock as much as they can to prevent that run. The Bruins are going to have to show pressure here. They do with Cora. Miller now with it, now back to Servia, now back to J.P. Carroll. Carroll against Van Slyke, now back to Miller. Miller now to Servia, inside to Sinesy, and it's off the mark. Robertson comes down with a rebound. Here's Levisic in transition. On the left side, now over to Van Slyke. Inside to Robertson. Robertson gets it blocked away there, but there's Levisic to create the turnover, and a foul on Avon. A great hustle play there by Levisic, who has had kind of a quiet game now, has created a couple turnovers and scored 2 points.
Right. Mason just needs to do that a little more and take it to the basket as he was, and it's working well for him.
The foul is on Mason Miller. Levisic will inbound. He'll get it into Van Slyke. Now back to Robertson. Robertson to Cora. Tries to find Levisic, but he finds Robertson. Catch and shoot. Three is good. Count it. He'll head to the line once.
Great decision by Garrett there. He was going to throw it to the corner to, I think, Levisic, but that was going to be a sure turnover. Gets it to Luke for almost could be a 4-point play here.
And now Jaden Brewer back into the contest. He had 6 at the half. He's got 1 here in this third quarter. He replaces Leangelo Servia. So the Bruins now a chance to get it within 15, trying to spark a run here at the end of the third quarter. And Robertson connects.
4-point play indeed.
4-point play for Robertson there. And now left side, it'll be Brewer against Van Slyke. Back up top to Melvin. Melvin working the basketball against Covey. Finds DeMeyers. Back out now to Camden Melvin. Melvin with it now. Finds Carroll. Carroll attacking the baseline. And Van Slyke creates a turnover. Van Slyke now to Robertson. Robertson, stutter step into the lane. Can't score. Fights for the rebound. It's out of bounds. Avon touched it last, but they're going to give it to the Orioles, in fact. And Baylor checks in, replacing Sanusi. 90 seconds to play third quarter. Here's Brewer into the lane and scores 2.
Not much you can do there. Just both defenders there. Just Brewer took it his way.
The Bruins trying to spark a run here. Covey nearly lost it in the corner. Finds Van Slyke. Turnaround baseline J is no good. The rebound is to Brewer. Brewer with it right side wing. Now back out top. It is Carroll. J.P. Carroll finds Baylor in the line, but Covey blocks it away and comes down with it. Robertson now across the timeline finds Levisic. Levisic catch and shoot. 3 is good.
Been needing that all game. Levisic shooting outside.
5 points for Levisic, all coming in the third quarter. 52-38. 39 seconds to play in the quarter. Here's Melvin now back to Carroll. Avon going to try to hold for the last second shot, and holding them scoreless here would be big. Here's Baylor on the attack into the lane, finds into the lane and lays it in against Covey there. Left side, right side Robertson. Robertson in the lane and overthrows Covey in the corner. But Covey somehow saves it from going out of bounds, but gives it to Avon, that is. And DeMeyers in transition scores 2. Levisic now 2 on the way is off the mark. And Avon comes down with the rebound. And it'll be the end of the third quarter, 56-38. So what's there to take away from that quarter there? Tribal showed some flashes. They're now down 18 heading into the fourth. What do they got to do to somehow spark a run here?
Right, well, they had a little spark there at the end of that quarter. They could have made it 11-point game, but instead making it 18, like you said. For this final quarter, they definitely going to need some more press and convert more turnovers for them, or convert more turnovers for Avon and not as many for themselves, as they're definitely hurting themselves. This game has been an ongoing factor.
So the Bruins, and you mentioned, able to spark a run there. They were only outscored by 3 in that quarter at 14-11. Your leading scorer in that quarter was Levisic with 5, Robertson had 4, and Covey had 2.
Right.
And so now it'll be Avon basketball to start the fourth.
Right. Definitely more ball movement by the Bruins. More players getting some points. Definitely going to need more spark and more fire out of everybody. Just need more points, obviously.
Well, they'll try to find points here. They're down 18, which, if you do the math there, less than, a couple of three-pointers there. So, about 6 threes and you're back in it. But, you're not going to find your lead from beyond the arc. I think you got to work it inside if you want to be victorious here late in this one. So now it'll be Melvin with it, in trouble, splits the defenders, finds DeMeyers in the corner. DeMeyers gives it back to Carroll. And if I'm Avon's coach here, I'm telling him nothing but layups the rest of the way. You're up 18 and you want to try to protect the lead. Right side, Carroll into the lane. It's Brewer. Brewer goes up, can't score, but a pushing foul against the Bruins. They're going to get Cora for his third. And it'll be Brewer at the line with 2 shots coming. And Brewer unable to connect on the first. We'll have a chance here now with the second. And he makes it. Avon's first points of the quarter there. Here's Coro with it. Crossing the timeline left side. Back to Robertson. Robertson with it. Now right side inside to Covey. Finds Carroll, comes down with it. A turnover. Left side, it's DeMeyers. Back to Carroll. And Gardner, who exited with a knee injury in the third quarter, has yet to come back out from the bench. And a traveling call there against Melvin, Camden Melvin.
Yeah, what you said about Gardner there, that's been a big factor here. Hasn't had that little bit of leadership on the floor. I saw earlier he was asking for a team to huddle up at the midcourt, and just missing that leadership and aggressiveness from Gardner out there right now.
Right side, Cora, and another turnover for the Bruins have absolutely killed them in this contest here. And what has been, kind of their limiting factor all season. Left side, DeMeyers, now back to Carroll. DeMeyers now with it now. Carroll has it, back to Camden Melvin. Now back to Brewer. Here's Baylor, high post, attacks into the lane. It's off the mark, but he gets his own rebound. And Baylor scores 2. Left side, 3 on the way for Van Slyke is way off the mark. Melvin comes down with it into the lane, and he can't score. Baylor gets the offensive rebound, and a foul call against the Bruins.
Took a very quick foul. He was very quick to jump on that one.
Van Slyke picks up his first. Gardner checks back in, replacing Robertson. 59-38, 6:15 to play in this one. And Again, the Bruins' average margin of defeat, if you want to look at numbers, is 17.67. And their average margin of victory is 22.75. So a team that really hasn't played in a lot of close contests this year. Left side, it's DeMeyers going up against Covey. Now back to J.P. Carroll. So it looks like the Bruins will play for third place now coming up on tomorrow afternoon at about 4 p.m. is when that game will take place. They will play the loser of Brownsburg and Plainfield, assuming this score stands. Brewer into the lane and draws a foul there. And they're going to get Covey for his first foul of the contest. And Brewer now at the line will have a chance for two. So he's gone 50% here in this second half. He was 0 of 1 in the first half. And he connects on the first one there. And now the second shot by Brewer is good. So we'll have coverage tomorrow afternoon, about 4 p.m. The tip set for here on YouTube. Playing for third place, and you'd be happy taking home a third place in the Hendricks County tournament. A county that is very competitive. Spin around shot by Covey is off the mark.
Right, with the big schools like Avon, Brownsburg, Plainfield, I mean, you're hoping for that top four, top three every year, as it seems. Tri-West is not a nobody for basketball, and they definitely showed it winning a few years ago. And
Cora with the hustle play there draws the foul. That's his fourth. And now it'll be a 1-and-1 situation the rest of the way. Baylor will be at the line. He'll have a 1-and-1. He's got 4 here in this second half after going scoreless in the first half. And the first shot is good. So after the tournament, Avon will travel to Mount Vernon to Fortville, and then they'll be on the road at Fisher, so 2 straight road contests to finish there. Right side, Cora now back to Levisic, and Cora has it. Left side, Gardner. Gardner on the attack with the left hand is no good, but he contains the basketball and gets it from Brewer. Now a foul on Avon. They're going to get Jaden Baylor for his second foul. Gardner gets it into Levisic. Levisic at 15 feet. Off the mark. There's Gardner with a rebound, fighting for it, but unable to control it as DeMeyers comes down. Here's Carroll now, giving it back to DeMeyers, working right side on the wing. Back out to Brewer. Great defensive pressure by Van Slyke, but a foul call there. That'll be Van Slyke's second foul.
Right, a little bit of defensive pressure here at the end of the game. Just have some positive output for tomorrow's game.
And so now Robertson will return, replacing Garrett Cora. (62-38). And the first shot there by Brewer is good. All of his points here in this fourth quarter came from the charity strike. And the second shot, no good. Van Slyke coming down with the uncontested rebound. Gardner with it now left side. So, likely will face Plainfield tomorrow night if, you'll get the loser. So you get Brownsburg or Plainfield. So Plainfield, a team that you've already seen this season, out of bounds. They're going to give it to Avon, as it looked like Carroll was the last one to touch it there. But anyways, you'll get you get Plainfield or Brownsburg. Plainfield, a team that you've already seen this season once. You fell to them 61-47. But it's, really a game that, the Bruins were kind of caught off guard and weren't really ready, I guess, for that speed of the game 2 games into the year, into the season. So they definitely had time to develop since then. So I think you should be prepared for a good matchup there, if in fact they do draw Plainfield. 30-second timeout taken by Avon, their first of the game. So we'll, of course, have coverage tomorrow evening as well, live here from Cascade High School. So out of the Jeff Holloway timeout, it'll be Avon basketball, and the Bruins now just trying to minimize the damage. 63-38, J.P. Carroll inbounds it in the backcourt. And he'll cross the timeline working left side. Nearly lost the handle there. Left side now, it is Serbia who drains a 3 there.
Avon not looking to let up as they still have their starters in with 3 minutes left. Almost up by 30.
Inside to Wolf, who drives in and can't score. And the Bruins have been held scoreless in this fourth quarter. For numbers side, they've been held scoreless in this fourth quarter, and that has contributed as to why the deficit is so large, down 30 now. Have not scored in the fourth quarter. Inside Van Slyke, spin around, can't score. Rebound is to Brewer. It is very demoralizing as Van Slyke comes in with a huge block against Brewer.
Yeah, he did.
And even though the game is out of hand by now, a great play there by Van Slyke, catching him from behind.
Yeah, Brewer didn't even see it coming. He turns around and he's like, oh, where'd that come from?
So now it'll be Jaden Baylor inbounding under his own basket baseline left. He inbounded to J.P. Carroll in the backcourt. So it's very demoralizing, like I was mentioning there, to be, to not score nearly, over halfway through a quarter here, have not, put a point on the board. Inside is DeMeyers, and DeMeyers scores 2. About 2:30 to play in this one. Carroll now over to
So it has potential to be a good season.
deficit back to an even 30. And after the tournament, the Bruins will be in action a week from now against Lebanon. So getting conference play underway there. And should be an exciting contest there against the Tigers, the rivals from the north there. Gardner going up is fouled on his way up. He'll head to the line to shoot 2. And the foul is on McCray. Gardner now at the line. Makes the first. And, so like we mentioned, they'll face Lebanon next Friday at home. Should be a great atmosphere there. We encourage you to come out and check out the Bruins team, as they'll be in their first conference home game of the year.
Right.
And their first conference game, that is. And missed call there, but nevertheless, it'll be Avon basketball. So inbounding it will be McCray. Gets it in, and now he gets it back for a 3 try, and it's good. So we apologize if you've been hearing a barking in the background. There's been a fan here at Cascade who has insisted on barking. He has been barking the entire contest. So we apologize if you hear that in the background.
Just adds an atmosphere, a little bit.
Here's Avon with the basketball, 43 seconds now. And a foul on the Bruins. They're going to get Dawson Wolf, his 4th. And now it'll be Harris at the line here. Antoine Harris for Avon, looking for his first points of the game, and he can't convert off the front of the rim. So now Avon will advance to the county title game as they will face the winner of Brownsburg and Plainfield coming up next. And Harris able to make his second. 35 seconds to play. Right side Wolf. Back to Robertson. Robertson with it off the mark. Here's Harris in transition, goes up, but he's fouled. And they're going to get Van Slyke for his fourth. 22 and 1/10. Harris makes the first there.
And you're hoping Bruins can find some positivity out of this game. They kept it close. They had their sparks. They can keep up with an up-tempo team for a little bit, but they need to stay consistent. And
Harris makes his second there. Gardner with it now from 15 feet, unable to connect. 12 seconds to play. You got to give it to the Bruins. They haven't stopped battling this entire fourth quarter. As the starters have played nearly this entire fourth quarter, they haven't stopped battling at all. 3 on the way is off the mark. And that'll end the game. Avon victorious 78-43. They advance to the county title game where they will face the winner of Brownsburg and Plainfield, which is coming up next, and which should be a very, very good game coming your way there. And we'll get stats here in just a few moments. So, Blake, what do the Bruins need to do to improve? They'll play for third place. What do they need to improve upon ahead of tomorrow's contest?
right, they just need to move on, put this one behind them for sure. I don't know, they just need to find a new mojo, it seems like they need for tomorrow's game. Hopefully they can get that win for some positivity going into conference play. Definitely had, like you said, they didn't give up. But they definitely need some more action and end of the game as they didn't score until the last few minutes in the fourth. Definitely a huge compactor, and just also the end of the first half, end of the first half was a big tempo killer. I don't know, just they got a lot of things to work from, but there's still a lot of good potential in this team.
All right, so the Bruins fall tonight. But they will be back in action tomorrow for the third place game. So a quick turnaround and what should be a good matchup. We'll have the coverage, of course, here on YouTube. But let's take you through some final statistics for the Bruins. Leading the way, Taylor Gardner had 17. Dawson Wolf had 2. Robertson had 12. Levisik had 5. Van Slyke had 5. And Alex Scovey had 2 points on the evening. So the Bruins back in action tomorrow afternoon at 4 p.m. I'll have the coverage starting at about 4 p.m. Thanks for joining us this evening. We hope that you stay with us all season long here on our YouTube live stream account. Back in action tomorrow. For Blake Saylor, I'm Grant Covey. Have a wonderful New Year.